Okay, so today we're going to talk about function notation with graphs. We briefly talked about this last class, so this will be a kind of review. Okay, so remember that f of x replaces the output. And that's the y value when using the function notation. Okay, and remember we said f of 3 equals 7. That means 3 is inside the parentheses. That's going to be the input, which is x. And 7 is outside the parentheses. That's going to be y. That's going to be output. So since 3 is the x, 7 is y, we can write that as order pair 3, 7. Easy? Again, f of negative 8 equals 16. Negative 8 is inside the parentheses. That's the input of negative 8. Output is positive 16. That means negative 8 is x. 16 is y. Therefore, we can write that as order pair negative 8, 16. Right? And the order pair 2, negative 5 can be written as something using function notation. Now we're going backwards. So when we have order pair, the first one is the x, next one is the y, and we can write that as a function notation. F of something gotta be equal to something. Which one is the input? 2 is the input, so 2 goes inside, and 5 is the output, negative 5 goes outside. Got it? So far so good. So using graph, find f of negative 10 means, see, as I told you again, we have inside the parentheses negative 10. Therefore, x is negative 10. Find x when f of x equals positive 9. That 9 is outside. That means y value is 9. Okay? So what is the value of x when y is equal to 9? So let's see, find f of 2 using the graph. Again, this 2 is inside or outside? Inside. So think of what is the value of y when x is 2. When x is 2 on this graph, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. Therefore, x is 2, y is 0. Easy? Okay. Now, use the graph below to answer the question. What is the value of f of 3? So this 3 is inside the parentheses. That is the input. That is the x value. So when x is 3, what is the y value? Same question for B. What is the value of f of 0? 0 is inside a parentheses. We are given x values. How do I find the y values? So let's start with f of 3. F of 3 means x is 3. So what do? We have to go to the x-axis of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then what will be the y value? Negative 2. Okay, now everyone try letter B. Pause the video. Go ahead and try that. Okay, did everyone get f of 0 equals 2? Because x is 0, what is y value? 2. Okay, now let's take a look at this. For what value of x does f of x equals 3? Now look at this 3. Is 3 inside the parentheses or outside the parentheses? It's outside of parentheses. That means that's the output. That is the y value. Okay, so this time we have y values given. So what we need to do is we have to go to y-axis of 3. Okay, y-axis is right here. Y-axis of 3. Where on the graph hit the y-axis of 3? Which x value have y value of 3? Right here, correct? So x value will be positive 6. Okay? Because this order pair is 6, 3. So this is when y is 3, y x value is 6. Okay? Now, let's take a look at it. Let's look at the next one. For what x values does f of x equal 0? F of x equals 0. Now, 0 is outside. That means 0 is the y value. Okay? Y is 0. So, where on the graph has y value of 0? Let's go across. Ooh, right here, 1. Right here, 1. All the way down here, 1. So negative 2, 1.5, then 5. Okay, so anytime we're given the x value, you got to find the y value. If the y value is given, you got to find the x value. Good? All right, let's move on to the next page. Now, let's take a look at this graph again. Now we're not talking about f of 3 or f of x equals 3. We're talking about which one has the lowest value of the graph, which one has the highest x value. So graph starts right here, right? And then graph ends right there. So it says which one has the lowest x value. So we need to look at the x-axis, okay? So which one has the smallest x value? Right here, negative 3. Right? Which one has the highest x value then? Okay, let's keep going. Which one would that be? Where does the graph stop? Right at 6. Is that right? Okay. And this interval of number is called the domain. Okay. So the domain of this graph is from negative 3 and ends at positive 6. Okay. And in order to find the domain, we need to scan from left to right. Okay. Then let's take a look at the next question. What is the lowest value of the y? Now we're not looking at the x, now we're looking at the y. Okay, so let's try that. Which one has the lowest y value? So in order to do that, we need to scan from bottom to top. Where does the graph start on the y-axis? It starts right here. And it ends right here. Is that right, guys? So which one will be the lowest y value? Negative 2. What will be the highest y value? Positive 3. And we're going to talk about how we're going to put this as a step builder notation next class. So I just want you to understand the concept of this, all right? So lowest value of y is negative 2, highest value of y is 3, and this interval of number is called the range. Okay? Remember, the domain was x value, range is the y value. In order to figure out the y value, we need to scan from bottom of the graph to the top of the graph. So we're going to actually try these 3 questions in class. So we're going to stop the video here. Just remember, when every single time you're given the x value, you got to find the y value. If you're given the y value, then you got to find the x value. Okay? Thank you for watching the video.